Hi, as you can see, there are thousands of people here in Copenhagen queuing for hours to get into the conference centre, and many of those are from Ireland, and I had the opportunity of meeting them last night. So here they are, and they have a lot to say about climate change.
My name is Molly Walsh, and I'm the Policy and Advocacy Officer with Friends of the Earth. And my hopes for Copenhagen are that all the countries in the UN commit to a climate change deal that will limit global temperatures to a safe level, a deal that will be in line with science and in line with justice, and that will require the rich developed countries to commit to deep emissions cuts and to putting on the table the kind of finance required for developing countries to have adequate adaptation and mitigation.
I'm John Sweeney from the Irish Climate Analysis and Research Units, NUIM, National University of Ireland and Louth. What I hope for from Copenhagen, firstly, is that the world does the right thing. In the 19th century, we abolished slavery in many parts of the Western world because it was the right thing to do, not because it was the economically sensible thing to do. And I suppose I'm hoping that climate change is tackled because it's the right thing to do firstly. I also hope that tangibly we get an agreement that the developed world will limit its emissions between 25 and 40% by 2020, and that it will pay its fair share of damage to the third world in particular.
I'm Colin Roach from Oxfam, and I want a fair and safe deal for people who live in poor countries, so that they can have a future with dignity, protected from the ravages of climate change.
My name is Niamh Garvey, and I'm Climate Advisor for Trócaire in Ireland. What I want out of Copenhagen is a fair and effective, legally binding agreement that balances the interests of the rich and the poor equally. Developing countries need an agreement that tackles both the causes of climate change and the consequences of climate change.
My name's Morgan Bazillion. I'm a good Irishman, and I'm working at the United Nations Industrial Development Organization in Vienna. I'm here in Copenhagen as a UN observer and watching the negotiations with some interest. I think the most useful thing coming out of Copenhagen is probably the importance of climate change coming up the political radar, and the training of the young people and education of young people of the subject area itself, rather than the outcome of whatever negotiations we come to.
This is Pat Finnegan from Green, which is working these negotiations for 10 years now. This is my 11th conference, 23rd climate conference. It's the biggest there's ever been. Green has been fighting to make this moment happen since earlier this year, actually suggesting it to the head of state, head of government. The point is, head of state, head of government are here now. Only they can take the global community up to where it needs to be in terms of tackling climate change. That's the reality. Let's hope they make it happen by